Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 696 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Oh my gosh, dude. Let me tell you something. I got a story for you.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not just saying that for just sakes, just for something like just crazy or whatever. But first off, I'm fine.
Uh-oh.
But the past couple of days of work have been really crazy because the whole Black Friday stuff with the thrift store scene has been really much like crazy. What was hilarious is coming into work yesterday and like I look at our store dumpster, right? Because this is a dumpster that gets like vandalized almost like every freaking week because people love to crack open the top portion of it and just like dig in and stuff and like dig through our garbage and shit,
Yeah.
like for their dumpster dive and stuff. Well, I looked over there like on Saturday morning. I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, the thing is open, but it's just weirdly clean. Like there's nothing like anywhere because the day previous, I came into work and the thing was vandalized and there was actually human feces everywhere, so I had to clean that crap up in order to try to get that going things. But what I'm going with here is end up finding out from my boss that she actually caught somebody inside of the dumpster through her camera, so she notified the cops because she was watching live on her phone app for the camera that the dude's in there. And basically, we had the cops come like around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, take this dude who's still digging in the dumpster, mind you. So he's digging through all the garbage, all the crap that I had like just tossed inside there, including probably his own feces, because who knows? Who knows? That
Hopefully
may
it's
have been
his
the guys
feces.
from before. I don't know, hopefully the feces. But the fact remains is, dude, is like I saw the footage. The dude's like running the dumpster. He's like just kind of freaking. I was like, oh, no. It's like, and you literally just hear the officer just point the gun at him. It's like, oh, stay there, stay there. It's like they freaking like just go there, arrest the guy. Find out the guy has a warrant.
Oh, God.
So the dude. So that was pretty exciting to start my Saturday morning. On top of that, like one of my coworkers ended up going home sick and stuff, so I had to pretty much cashier all day for that Saturday with everybody
That
and their
sucks.
mother coming in and just shopping, getting Christmas stuff. So I was so exhausted yesterday that we literally had to push our recording date like a day so I can come and recuperate.
Yeah.
But now, after all that, after this day of football, which I'm very happy that my Niners end up beating the Browns and that they're 9-4 and they're well within the playoff range in this picture. That now I feel ready that we can start talking about video games.
Yeah.
But speaking of video games, I did end up picking a couple of games up through
Okay.
Black Friday on through Walmart. Funny enough, I did the whole like curbside pickup stuff because I didn't want to trend into the damn store.
Don't blame
I
me.
end up picking up getting two games. So I ended up getting Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and stuff.
Very nice.
Ended up picking this one up for the PS5. That was $30. Also picked up Metal Gear Solid Delta, $30.
Nice. Good game. Great game.
Dude, so happy with that. But other than that, that's pretty much what I've been doing for this week. Tyler, how have you been?
Yeah, me, man. Clanging and banging as always. Doing all right. We had Thanksgiving this past week, so it was nice doing that. It's my favorite holiday just because of the food. I love turkey and I love ham. So honestly, I love the leftovers more than anything. I did sadly finish up my leftovers today though. So I'm very sad amount of Hawaiian rolls and turkey and ham. So I do have a little bit of pie left
Yeah,
though. I'm gonna eat that. I was gonna eat that tonight, and I'm like, what? I gotta record. I don't want to feel that shitty while recording, so I held off. I'm gonna eat. I
man.
sacrificed myself for this podcast, Gables. I just want to let you know I did that. Um,
Dude, you were so lucky, dude, because my Thanksgiving dinner, it was fine and everything, but my mom went to go and make like a turkey noodle soup type of thing for the very next day. We ate that and stuff, and I was so exhausted from Saturday, I forgot to store it, and so a lot of it went to waste. And I'm like, oh,
I would never forgive
crap.
you. I would never forgive you. Honestly, if I was your mother's a better person than I would, because you would be on the streets right now. I'm like, I don't want to see you ever again. No, I wouldn't
Oh
blame you.
no, wasting food in this. I don't like wasting food either, so it really just kind of kicked me when I woke up this morning. I'm like, God dang, not again.
Again? Oh no, you're done. You're done. You know what? I'm gonna put your mother on the podcast. I'm gonna talk to her. We're gonna. Well, just honestly, Gables, we're still gonna. Your mother's just gonna replace you on the podcast for now on. It's just gonna be me and her.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, I'm doing all right though. Otherwise, just like I said, enjoyed that. It was nice. I couldn't really move Thursday, but it was nice. Packers beat the Lions, so that was nice. It was very very tough game for me. Emotionally and stressfully, I think I took a good solid 3 weeks off my life watching that game. But yeah, it was all right, And then I didn't really, video game wise, like Black Friday stuff, I didn't really do too much. Like there, I'm trying to think that I bought some stuff. I've got a lot of shopping done, honestly, for Christmas. I just want to get done. I'm always really bad about like waiting till like mid-December, and I'm like, I gotta start buying shit. So I'm like, I just want to get it out of the way, especially with like some Black Friday deals. So go ahead.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying though, it's like I hear you, dude. I mean, I pretty much got a lot of my shopping done also through the past day and a half or so. I think there's like maybe one or two gifts I need to really just get my mom and stuff because I did end up like getting her a couple of things today.
Nice.
That
Okay.
Through Costco.
Nice. Yeah. That does remind me. Actually, the one thing I think I got video game wise is at Costco they had on the website you can get $200 in Nintendo eShop gift cards for $160. So that's a pretty good deal. So I got that. My sister has a Costco membership, so she got it for me. So I just paid her back. So yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So basically, look at like pretty much get a half a game for free in a sense because I'm mostly pretty much going digital with my my Switch 2 this time around, and but I mostly just try to stay off the Black Friday sales off like all the platformers, because I have too many games to play as is right now. I don't need to buy more. Yeah, I'm doing fine otherwise. Other than the fact that it's like it went from like this time last week it was like 40s and 50s outside to here in Iowa we went from like no snow to like usually you get like the little like you get like the snow early in the winter where it's like it's still like 20-30 degrees outside, so it doesn't really stick to the ground, and it just kind of slowly gets cold outside. No, it just went from this morning when I woke up it was -3 outside and we got like 8 inches of snow, so it was not fun. Did not like that at all. Did not enjoy that whatsoever. So it's kind of it's like usually we kind of like work our way into it. We did not work our way. It's just like they just like bam, here's a foot of snow. So not fun. But anyways, this is a video game podcast where Gables and I get together to talk about video games and everything we love about them. If you like the show like we do, please support us. We are on every podcast service. We are on YouTube. YouTube is the best place to check us out. But if you can subscribe to us other places, 5-star, leave comments, whatever you can do out there to help us out with the algorithm, we'd appreciate it. But YouTube, like I said, is the best place to do that. If you can just subscribe, you don't have to watch it. Just subscribe. Make the numbers go up because we're getting closer. We're like around 550 right now, subscriber wise. So it'd be nice to get to that 1,000 mark here sometime. But also, this episode will be fine if you're an audio listener. But like, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I'm doing a share screen right now, and we are going to do our predictions for the game of the Game Awards rather. So I'm gonna get that all set up here for video watchers. We're gonna go through each category, not each. Some categories we're gonna work like esports. We're gonna skip those. For some of these other ones, we might skip through just because maybe we're not the best to talk about them. We'll kind of discuss as we get there. But Gables, are you ready to jump into this bad boy?
Sure.
All right. We're gonna start off here with Content Creator of the Year. So I gotta do a quick little time code here before I forget. All right, and Gables, we're starting with Content Creator of the Year. We got Cadril, Kai Kinet, Moist Critical,
Okay.
Did I say it wrong?
Kai Cenat.
Oh, whatever. Man, I feel old doing this. This is when I think when I started realizing I'm getting old is when I started seeing the Content Creators of the Year. So Kai Cenat, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko, and the Burnt Peanut. Did I say the other one wrong again?
Yeah, you actually say multiple things wrong, but that's fine.
No, whatever. I got Moist Critical and Burnt Peanut right. So 2 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah.
All right. So Gables, I made you do some homework as I do every year with the Content Creators of the Year because I don't know who the fuck these people are. I need you to tell me. I know Moist Critical. I've heard of Kai Cenat.
Yes.
Okay, it's never. It's I'm just gonna call him Kai for argument's sake. I've obviously heard of Kai. I know of Moist Critical. The rest I have no clue about. So Gables, give me a little breakdown
All
on
right,
some of
let me
these other
tell you.
people.
All right, so K-Drill, he more or less like covers a lot of like League of Legends stuff. I know from initial footage stuff he's reacted to some people's like gameplay stuff and also in terms of like professional level players.
Okay.
So yeah, he's more of like say like the esports sort of like scene in some of the coverage that he's done and reacted to. For Sakura Miko, this one I had to dig in a little bit deeper too because I wasn't too familiar with her. But kind of like with last year, with I think it was with Pico or something like that. This is like a Hololive VTuber, right? And so basically, she does a lot of like the coverage stuff for reaction videos, and also she has done some bit of collaborative like music with other people from some of her VTuber like company or something like that she's a part of and stuff. And so there's I think I have seen one of her videos earlier on this year by accident, like on Instagram, because there's like this advertisement that was going on and stuff for McDonald's in Japan and stuff, and I saw I
Mm.
think one of her videos and stuff that highly catchy and stuff, but I think it was just to celebrate in terms of there was some sort of like anniversary thing going on with McDonald's in Japan for this year, I think, but other than that, just let it be known and stuff that yeah, she's just one of the VTuber stuff. This is like pretty much designated like VTuber category or something that
Yeah.
the Game Awards has had. I mean, a couple years ago was Iron Mouse, last year was Pico, now this is Sakura Miko.
Okay.
But the last
Yes.
one is pretty much kind of like a crazy one right here. This is the Burt Peanut. So this dude has coverage in terms of various games that he does play, and he loves to razz and like make fun of like say of his listeners, like his audience and stuff. He pretty much says a lot of off the cuff, like raunchy shit and stuff
Mm.
like that. And quite honestly, a lot of his things are pretty damn funny. One of the things that he doesn't like people calling him, doesn't like calling him like freaking a VTuber or
Oh.
like a freaking like furry or anything like that and stuff. And it's hilarious because it's one of those recurring gags with this dude where it's like he'll go through of like he's actually had people in game while he's playing things like say Tarkov and like Arc Raiders and stuff. It's like hey, what are you, a VTuber or something like that? And he gets fucking angry as shit and he just but yeah, Burnt Peanut and stuff. This dude and stuff. Well, what else can I say really about him? I mean, he loves predominantly to play like first person shooter style of games or just like shooter action games in general. Sometimes he rolls like with some of his friends and like just try to take out like certain dudes and this stuff. But yeah, sometimes his jokes can get like overtly sort of like with raunchy or something like that. Like say jokes about incest, jokes about like various like
What?
some stuff that may be kind of sensitive to some
Okay.
people and
What
stuff.
about
But
9/11? Because I'm very anti 9/11 jokes.
yeah.
As much
But
as I know you like to, I know you like those type of jokes, Gables. I'm not one of them though.
I'm all up for dark humor and stuff like that. But I just want to say this on record and stuff. I don't enjoy a lot of the 9/11 stuff.
Gables historically loves my 9/11 jokes, so
Uh,
he sent him. He
but
sends me
anyways,
tons of memes of 9/11. It's very
but anyways and
funny.
stuff. If I had to personally pick who's going to win inside of this category based upon who we already know. And obviously, the ones that I didn't really explain, these guys are pretty much kind of well known and stuff through YouTube and through Twitch and stuff. Like Kai Cenat, the guy's very popular. He has a lot of various celebrities and sports stars and stuff, but he has streamed games before and stuff. Then you have like Moist Critical, who I feel like is the favorite to win this category because this dude does a little bit of everything. He's covered like say reactions to certain like LA police chases because he lives around that
Hmm.
general area. He's done a lot of like game streams and stuff, like playing certain games. Let's say a couple years ago it was like Last Remnant 2 and stuff. And he likes to play some of the more modern games on stream and just, does a lot of that stuff as well. And sometimes he has a little bit more insightful like pieces and stuff covering certain things that are happening like inside the games industry or in terms of what's happened in terms of certain political things too. But yeah, he's pretty funny dude and stuff. I
Hmm.
think out of like I was saying again, out of all of these options here, I think the most critical is like most likely to win. I'd say for if I had to pick another one that could be, I mean, obviously the more popular one's Kai Cenat
Yeah.
in terms of that stuff. I could see him potentially winning too. I think the burnt peanut, though he's nominated, I think a lot of it is like a gag thing and stuff to see if he does win, and then all of a sudden it's like he's on stage and people are like, "What the fuck is this peanut doing on this damn stage?" I mean, that
That'd be
would
the
be pretty
funniest
funny
one.
to see. I would admit it
Yeah.
would be the funniest one because he'll just say a lot of this raunchy, just like crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it's probably Kai. I mean, he seems like he is kind of like the one that's kind of crossed over into the mainstream. As I think like
Right, right.
he's one like he's definitely like more like he's not like on he's not just famous on like gaming side of content creation. So
Right.
I
He
feel like
transcends the gaming
yeah.
thing
I mean,
into like
was
other things like
was he in the Royal
Hollywood and
Rumble
like
last
other
year
stuff.
or this past year? Was that
I
Kai?
don't know if Kai Cenat was. I think it was Ice Show
Oh, I
Speed,
show
wasn't it?
speed. Oh, that's right. Oh my god. Okay, I mix up my content
Yeah, it
creators.
was
Never
Ice
mind then.
Show.
But I mean, I know Kai. He's done like he's done like streams with like fucking John Cena and shit like that. So he's had a lot of big names just show up at his house and hang out. So
Yeah.
I can't keep all the content creators. They're all kind of blend in after a while.
There's
Uh,
all sorts of content creators, dude.
yeah,
I don't expect you to know every
it's so funny every year.
single
Like
one of them.
yeah, it's so funny every year. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I'm just gonna say Kai most likely. But yeah, I mean, it's like I don't. This
It's
is
not really like a cut or dry this year for like say content creator because I thought that last year Queso just ran away with it, and I was right with that
yeah,
one.
yeah. I feel like it's like as long as Kai's fans know that he's nominated, if he tells them that he's been nominated, he's gonna destroy it. Otherwise, it's probably Moist Critical
Yeah,
that probably wins. But it's a matter of
yeah,
like
pretty much.
Kai. If someone told Kai he's nominated, it's probably over. Moving on to the next category, Gables. Though we do have the most anticipated games for the for next. Well, most just anticipated games in general. Um, we have 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and Witcher 4. What's your prediction on this one, Gables?
All
I feel like it's
right.
pretty easy. To make it easier, Gables, if you just hit previous when we go to the next category, I'll just take you to the next one. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Well, dude, I feel like that it's kind of obvious that people are most anticipating Grand Theft Auto 6,
Yeah,
even if any type of form. It's just one of those game franchises that has transcended gaming just in general to where anytime one of those games releases is always a major event.
yeah,
So that's easily going to be the winner here for most anticipated.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, I agree. It's like it's usually I think like Tears of the Kingdom won a couple times as well. So it's like these are weird ones. I kind of wish it was just like games that are scheduled for next year. And obviously
Yeah,
delays happen and
yeah.
stuff like that. I think that's why Tears of the Kingdom won a couple times because it got delayed from like the next year. It was like supposed to come out next year and they got delayed. But I don't know. I mean, this is not a bad. This is a good category here. It's like some of these are kind
Oh
of.
yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like. I mean, honestly, I guess like all these games are scheduled for next year, except for Witcher 4. I don't think we haven't even seen
Witcher
gameplay
4
of
is
it.
not coming out next year, but
No.
yeah, I can understand the excitement for it.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to pretty much all these games, except for maybe Witcher 4, I guess, because I've just never really dug the Witcher games in the past. So, but I mean, the other ones, I mean, First Light, Wolverine, and Resident Evil, I'm super pumped for. So, yeah,
I would think the second place one would be Resident Evil Requiem,
yeah,
personally,
yeah. This is
because
one
I
of those.
think more people are in there.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say though, this is one of those ones where I kind of wish we saw like the breakdown because who got second
Yeah,
is like the most. It's probably more interesting than anything else.
yeah, I can agree with you for that.
Yeah, but I'd probably Requiem probably is, but yeah, like you said, like GTA 6 is like maybe the last like when gaming like in the 360 PS3 era where like game like big game like that was like kind of the end of like games coming out feeling like a event like that like that became bigger than just like this is pre like the internet exploding and Twitter and all that stuff really kind of becoming the big thing. It was like back in those days where like Halo 3 or the new Call of Duty or Madden even like back in those days coming out was like a big fucking deal. Like um, GTA
Hmm.
6 feels like the last one of those that we might actually have in our lifetime. Um,
It's
but
possible, yeah.
yeah. But moving on to the next category here, best adaptation. Some of these times, like last year, I thought was really good. This year, maybe not so much. We have the Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, Last of Us Season 2, Until Dawn. our categories, our nominees here, Gables.
So let me ask you, Tyler, have you watched any of these?
Obviously, I watched Last of Season 2. I have no interest in Minecraft. I'd say like Minecraft is like probably the might win the popularity vote because that movie was like, from what I understand, the movie wasn't good, but I mean that movie was like made over $1 billion. It was like extremely like they had that whole what was that chicken jockey thing
Oh
in
God,
theaters
yeah,
and stuff.
that was a thing. Hmm.
Yeah, but I heard like I thought I heard the Devil May Cry and Splinter Cell were pretty good though. So
Okay, well, let's see. I have not watched a single one of these inside of this category, so this is pretty much like a coin toss for me. I've heard that The Last of Us Season 2 started off well, but then towards the end of the season, it really wasn't like as strong as,
yeah,
say, what they had done for Season
very
1.
mixed
I
down the
heard,
end.
what's that?
As I say, very mixed. The opinions are very mixed down the end. I see
Right,
leaning
right.
towards not as not didn't like it as much. Yeah,
Right, understood. Let's see, I heard Devil May Cry was all right and stuff, but there were some choices that some people didn't like what they made with the animation and stuff. Um, the Minecraft movie, I think, is the most popular choice here. So, other than that, though, it's like I know Until Dawn, it just came out. I didn't really hear much of anybody talk about it.
pretty terrible. I heard.
S- let's see, Splinter Cell Death, like Death Watch. That I didn't see. I
Yeah,
haven't heard anything in terms of that either. So if I had to make a choice, barring with the options here, I think people are going to go with a Minecraft movie, even though it probably wouldn't have been my choice. I would say that this is probably the most likeliest to win this category.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you on that one. Like Until Dawn is like from everything I heard, like I was kind of looking for it because I'm a huge fan of like
Mhm.
supermassive games. I
Yes,
love
yes.
Until Dawn, but like when I saw that first trailer for this movie, like I wasn't like I was like, okay, if this game or if this movie is, it's one of those things where like if the movie's just good, I'll be happy. Type of situations. Like I had very low expectations for it, and then I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, this. It was like Until Dawn in name only. Like the movie has nothing that doesn't tie into anything to
Oh,
do with
oh
like
wow.
the game or even the concept of the game. It was like almost like a like roguelike type movie. It was fucking stupid. Apparently, and yeah, it didn't seem like it did very well. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm kind of it's almost like we had a 5, so I guess like that kind of just felt like we see that. There's some other categories we'll get into here where it's like, well, they technically had to have 5 here, so um,
Right.
I'm gonna go Minecraft movie as well, but it's honestly just because of like, Last of Season 2 I enjoyed, but it was definitely the first season was phenomenal. I thought season 2 like the first half was awesome, and then I thought the second half like they made a lot of changes to the game itself, and I don't know. Um, I'm just I think if like season 3 pays it off, it'll all work out in the end. But I feel like if you are not a fan of the game and you don't know the story, you're probably left scratching your head a lot of like things that are happening. So, but yeah, like I'd probably just go Minecraft movie, but it's probably just a popularity thing in that end. Um, but all right, moving on to the next category here, best multiplayer. We have Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Gables, what are you thinking, buddy?
These are some interesting choices that we got this year.
This is the first really like good category from like bottom like top to bottom here.
So I know from what I've personally played, I know you and I have played a lot of Split Fiction,
Mm-hmm.
and we definitely need to finish it before this year ends
You're
here.
goddamn right, you son of a bitch.
Oh man, well if we have some time this week, we should get back to it, dude, because
Let me know.
this is a ripe opportunity. I'm on vacation.
Oh, yeah. Just let me know.
But yeah, I know. I understand. I understand. Other than that, though, I look at some of the other games. I know Elden Ring, Night Rain, and stuff. It just pretty much kind of came and went, because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, you have Elden Ring game and stuff, and multiplayer elements and stuff, and it was popular for the first initial couple of weeks, but I did not hear too much about it after it
Yeah.
came out. Peak Peak is one of those indie games that was fairly popular, and it still is popular
Yeah.
in terms of people playing it and enjoying it.
They're still adding new content
Battle,
to it.
yeah, they're still adding content to it. They've made a bunch of different changes with a couple different updates over the past like month or so. For Battlefield 6, obviously people are going over and playing Battlefield 6 over like the new Call of Duty
Yeah.
because apparently they've done a lot things better in terms of making sure their online stuff stable, making sure things are like a little bit much more enjoyable than just what Activision has put out and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, personally, I have not played like say Arc Raiders or Battlefield 6 or Night Rain or Peak. All I could say is really for Split Fiction. But I will say that Arc Raiders definitely has a lot of people's interest, and it definitely feels like it's probably one of the better multiplayer games here. So if I had to really decide which one here is the best in terms of multiplayer, God, it's gonna be between like it's got to be at least between like three games. Oh, no, not three games. Yeah, I would think about three games though. I
Okay.
mean, I think Arc Raiders, I think Peak, and I think Split Fiction. And I'm trying to think of it in my mind because thinking about something that's a little bit more like original, but yet see what would most likely be the case here. And quite honestly, for multiplayer, I think, and hear me out on this one, I think Peak is going to be the one that
Ooh.
wins this category.
Okay.
And that's because you obviously for Arc Raiders and for Battlefield 6, they have great multiplayer modes from what I've heard. A lot of people enjoy them and stuff. But in terms of a lot of the not just popularity, but a lot of people going back to the game and playing it on like a routine basis, Peak has been out for a while, and there's still people that really love playing this game, really love like going into each game with each update and stuff, and then just having a lot of fun to it. And also, the entry cost to this game really wasn't that expensive at
It's like
all. I
$10, I
mean,
think. Oh no, it's like eight
yeah,
bucks, I think.
it was
Yeah.
like about $8,
Yeah.
and yet they got so much good quality out of the developers of this game. Just put in so much good content in terms of like what players can play and enjoy and stuff of that sort that I feel like this is pretty much going to be one of those sleepers that's going to come out and win this category.
Yeah.
But I will say though, Split Fiction, that is a fantastic multiplayer game from what I've that we've played so far, and I feel like that this definitely deserves to be in the conversation of like best multiplayer game of the year.
Yeah. Um, like I bought Peak. I definitely still want to play it. It's awesome. Like that was it's a small studio. Like they had this like major hyped up game, Another Crab's Treasure. That kind of seemed like it. I played a little bit of it. I was super pumped for that game. And I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
And then this was a game they talked about. They just kind of like worked on it for like 6 months. And they just kind of threw it out there as like a like, oh, it's cool, like little project we did for 6 months, and it blew up. And it's like this game is gigantic for them, and it sold like over 10 million copies or something like that. For like I said, like it's a game that's like $8. It's a game I definitely I like I said I bought it. I want to check. I need to check it out. But yeah, it's just awesome. It's a great story. I like it's just cool that this when this shit happens, especially like these games that just kind of come out of nowhere. Yeah, I agree with you. Like Elden Ring, Night Rain, like there's still like the fan base there that still plays it, that loves it. But it definitely especially for an Elden Ring thing, just kind of feel like came and went. I think also what hurt too is like the first big expansion isn't coming out, I think, until this coming week. Um, so you're talking about like
yeah,
6 months of like I think they've done some small stuff and some changes in here and some updates, but like the big thing I think is coming like I think it's the fourth or something like that. So that hurts. Honestly, I'm between Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders. Just I think part of it is popularity and then also just recency. Both those games came out in October.
right.
Battlefield 6 obviously is it's great to see like I said like you can not be a fan of those style of games. Like I used to be a huge fan of Battlefield and Call of Duty. I would be the one that bought like the three early like the whole 360 era and early PS4 era. I was buying all of them. It definitely as I got older, I've fallen off of them a little bit more. But like yeah, it's just great though. Like even if you're not a fan of these things, like it's great I think for the industry to have just Call of Duty having competition and like a gut check
Yeah,
moment. So like because I mean like Black Ops 7 seems to kind of miss the mark. With coming especially come off of Black Ops 6, which people seem to love, and I really like that campaign. And 6 or 7 came out. It's just what the fuck is this? And so it's great to see that. And like yeah, it seems like they nailed everything. And like especially with this like being like the last like I mean after the last couple Battlefield games kind of completely missed the mark. It's just great that like you're hearing a lot of like okay this is like maybe the last major big option here for Battlefield 6 for a while because like we've seen them like they've shelved
Right.
like Medal of Honor and stuff like that. Like it's great to see they kind of nail this. Like they have that free to play mode, RedSec, I think is what it's called. Like people seem to be loving that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then I would say Arc Raiders are probably gonna. My pick would be Arc Raiders. It seems like people really love it, and like it kind of seems like these extraction shooters like people were really pumped for this when with playing the betas, and it seems like it's really kind of taken off. And it's still I still see people constantly playing it, talking about it. Like I go on I turn on my console, I see my friends list, and it is full of people still playing Arc Raiders. It's only been out for a little over a month now, as of recording this, but like yeah, so I would say Arc Raiders. I think a lot of that helps too because it's the most recent one to come out. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome. I'd love to see Peak win it, but I don't think it's gonna happen unfortunately. But moving on here, the best sports and racing games. We have EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World Rematch, Sonic Racing Crossroads, Gables. Interesting category here. I believe EA Sports FC won last year, but it was just kind of I don't think there's a lot of options, like a lot of like different options other than the annual titles. But we have three different titles here that aren't the annual options like Mario Kart World Rematch and Sonic Racing Crossroads. What would be your prediction for the winner here?
Well, I'm going to definitely say something controversial right here.
Uh-oh.
I think category is going to be between Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Crossroads.
Okay.
And quite honestly, I feel that way is because the other games around it, rematch. I know you've had a chance to play,
Played a bunch of it.
and that game has its like core audience and stuff, but it hasn't been like as popular of a game for people to go back to. I know for say F1 25, like another annual sports game, EA Sports FC 26, another sports game and stuff. It does have its core audience too, and a lot of people love investing into racing games and like you know, European football games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just kind of feel like that between Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Crossroads, this is going to be the winner's going to be one of these two. Now, I've only played Mario Kart World. I've played the demo portion, so Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and I've loved what I played from that. So I haven't had a chance to really experience. But what I'm thinking is going to happen, even though I feel like that Mario Kart World is going to be the winner of this category, only because of the fact that this is going to be the other one. The reason why I'm kind of thinking this is going to happen here is you're going to have Nintendo winning a category here, but they're definitely not winning like Game of the Year type of thing in terms of Donkey Kong Bonanza, because that's something we'll delve into obviously later.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they're going to be winning like any type of category here, it's going to be this and probably like the family friendly,
Yeah.
like the family
game. Yeah.
category and stuff. And I feel like Sonic Racing Crossroads is going to be a close second. If Sonic Racing Crossroads gets this, I will be 100% surprised because there is so many in the games industry and there's so many like people that just poo-poo a lot of these different Sonic games, especially the racing games, is like
Who?
offshoots or like just not as incredible. But
point them
at the
out to
same
me,
point,
Gables. Point them out to me. Who does that? I wouldn't allow it on this podcast.
Sonic 06. Anyway.
Huh.
But anyways, I would definitely would be happy and surprised if Sonic Racing Cross Worlds does win this category.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario Kart World I feel like is going to be the winner of this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Sometimes it's like you look at it, it's just kind of like, all right, what's the most popular one? And like, I don't know, like it sucks that like it annoys me that like, I mean, look, I play hundreds of hours of Madden every year, so maybe I'm not the best at like, but it's just like yeah, there's like those people like that bitch. They buy it every year, the new annual sports game, and they bitch about it.
Yeah,
it's like whether it's NBA 2K, it's all of them. It's not just any singular one. It's all of them. They all like. There's definitely a lot of problems with them. But it's just like, especially like EA Sports FC 26 this year. Like, I heard a lot more outrage this year. Like, it's not a game I play or even particularly care for. But like, I feel like this year this came out, and this is definitely like one of the ones like I think where Madden kind of had this like come to Jesus moment like 4 or 5 years ago. And it's definitely gotten better. They've turned things around. There's still like some shit that sucks about Madden.
yeah,
But
there's
like,
definitely some hitches with Madden here and there, but at the
yeah,
same time, the reason why people are getting it's that's just the thing about yearly iterations of sports games and stuff. It's like people will gripe about it every year because it's not as good as this year or that year and stuff. But that's the thing though. If you're looking for like some like the best of like a certain category and stuff, are you really gonna go with a yearly iteration or something like that? You're gonna really like not like as much as compared to fresh games inside of this type of category. That's
Yeah,
part of the reason why they lumped in racing and sports game and
yeah,
best sports games in general
yeah.
is because it's too stagnant of a category.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of like a plan. Is like I can't believe it. This kind of annoys me. That's even nominated, and it did win last year too, which is even like more annoying. But it's just like it's kind of
Yeah.
like man, this game like I got ripped apart. And it's like, but yet it's been nominated. I don't know. Maybe it's just lack of options, I guess, like to fill out five.
Yeah.
But I really, if it's not like honestly, if any of these three win, Mario Kart World Rematch or Sonic Racing Crossroads, like if one of those three doesn't win it, I'm gonna like what the fuck? Like okay, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably with you. Like I think Mario Kart World's probably gonna win it. In my heart, I'm hoping for rematch. Just because I had more fun with rematch than I did Mario Kart World.
Yeah.
I not play Sonic Racing Crossroads. Honestly though, for the bit, I think it would be extremely funny though if Sonic Race. I think though just for the comedy of it all, I want Sonic Racing to win. And just honestly, like I kind of like I don't know if Nintendo ultimately cares about that. I know they do care. Like they'll never pretend they do care, but like they care
Oh,
about getting these
it
awards.
would be it would be so deliciously funny reading a lot of hardcore Nintendo fanboys reactions if, say, Sonic won it over Mario Kart.
Yeah, and I honestly I think I mean it seems like this year like it would be justified if like Sonic Racing did beat out Mario Kart World. So like I mean it doesn't even sound like it would be like a
That
upset.
would be a statement.
Yeah, I mean I think popularity wise it'd be an upset, but I think yeah I think from a, like if you're just talking about game to game, I think Sonic Racing sounds like it's a better game of the two. So I don't know, but yeah I'm gonna say Mario Kart World, but I want rematch personally, but for the bit I want Sonic Racing. So.
Mm.
But next one here, best sim / strategy. We have Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civ 7, Tempest Rising, The Altars, and 2 Point Museum. I have not played any of these
This is
games,
one of
Gables.
the first. Yeah, that's just the thing with me, dude. I mean, I hadn't played any of these games, and I know that Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles is a remake of the original Final Fantasy Tactics that came out for PlayStation a long while ago. Jurassic World Evolution 3, I mean, that's a sequel to a game series, to a little game series that hasn't like had a game in that particular subset series and stuff for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think really the number one thing you're going to see is probably Sid Meier's Civilization 7,
And they
and
had
I
a
would think number two is going to
oh,
what's that?
sorry, but like Civ 7 had a pretty bad launch, especially on console or on PC. So
Right.
I do wonder if that hurts quite a bit.
It could hurt to some extent, and quite honestly, it's like with the altars, I'm not too sure. Tempest Rising, I'm not sure. Obviously, 2 Point Museum, not too sure. But in terms of like say maybe popularity stuff, I could see potentially for Sid Meier's game, but at the same point, I always like going with the Final Fantasy Tactics stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say the altars here. That feels like, I mean, I think people really seem to like that play the game seem to really love that game. And
Right.
like especially like the storytelling of the way like you have all these different clones of yourself that all had different like life
Oh,
experiences and all that in that game.
right.
I mean, seems like people really love that game. So I would say the altars probably. I think it'd be cool to see like the altars. If the altars doesn't win it, I guess my other choice would probably be Final Fantasy Tactics. It's probably maybe the favorite there, but I think it'd be cool to see the
Mhm.
altars win it. And it seems like people, like I said, people that played it seem to love it. So that's gonna kind
Right.
of be my pick on that one. But next up here, best family. It is interesting though. Some of these categories we do have 6 nominees, and some of them we have 5. This is another one with 6. So best family, we have Split Fiction, Sonic Racing Crossroads, Mario Kart World, sorry, Lego Voyagers, Lego Party, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Gables.
Kind of find it funny how it's just a couple Lego games in here meshed in with Mario, Donkey Kong, Sonic, and then Split
Yeah.
Fiction is just put in there in terms of like family friend, like just best family game.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Lego Voyagers is like, I mean, that is a 2-player online game, Gables, that much like a Split Fiction.
My question to you, Tyler, is like, is Split Fiction like a family game?
I don't know. It's almost like it's just like, well, it's two players. It is like, I mean, it's not like graphic, but there are like, I mean, there's a lot of cussing in that. There's some cussing in that game. Like I'm pretty sure they say
Yeah,
the
that
word
doesn't
shit.
make any sense.
I don't
That
know.
really doesn't make any sense. I mean, if there was like a co-op category or some best co-op game or this or
Yeah,
that, you know, or
I think it's just like, all right, we're like, I don't know. I sometimes wonder if some of these categories have six. It's probably like a tie for fifth, and I wonder if like, all right, well, split fiction.
yeah,
Like some people probably like, all right, we need a fifth game, and split fiction was probably just that fifth game, and it kind of got bumped in a bunch, and it tied for fifth with something else. Probably
right.
Lego Voyagers.
I think best family game's gonna go to Donkey Kong Bonanza
I would I
because
would agree.
I feel like that one's pretty strong. If it's not gonna win Game of the Year and stuff because of how strong that category is this year, then most likely we're gonna see this for best family game. Yeah, and it's really not. I don't really think there's much of a competition here because Mario Kart World that came out, that came and went. It's not as good as from what I've seen from Donkey Kong Bonanza, Sonic Racing Crossover Worlds and stuff. I mean, that's though though I've read good things about it and stuff like that in terms of not just critic stuff, but just like opinion stuff. People do love playing Donkey Kong Bonanza as well, so it's like I'm going with that.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I think it is like that game is just. It seems like a lot of people love it. I didn't care for it. Then I beat it, and I'm like, I continue to be confused by what people love about that game so much. Uh, I do. I honestly though, I would hope again for the bit. I would hope Lego Party wins because it seems like people like actually like really love that game, and like once again, it's like
Yeah.
someone came into like the Nintendo space here and just made a better party game than Nintendo has in a long time. And like I've heard a lot of people
Hmm.
say like they've had like get-togethers with friends or families, and it's just like usually they would just like play Mario Party or Mario Kart, and it's like or Mario they play the like and it's like a lot of them are like we went back to Mario Kart 8 or like instead of like we had people over for the holidays, and it's like instead of playing getting together and playing Mario Party, people want to play Lego Party. So I
Huh.
do find that interesting. So for the bit, I want Lego Party or Sonic Racing to win, but I would say probably Donkey Kong here. So and I really don't have a.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. And this, like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see split fiction win one. I don't think this is a category for it though.
No.
Gables, we're going over to your category here, your neck of the woods. Best fighting game. We have 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection, 2 Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage.
All right. So first and foremost, I'm trying to. I'm thinking about what we got here. So we basically got like two brand new games here, but two XKO and Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. We got a collection. We got pretty much like fighting game collection stuff with the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 and then Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and then we have another version of Virtua Fighter 5
Yeah. And
Riva
I
World
think
Stage.
2XKO technically isn't out yet. I think it's in early access.
Even if it's still in early access here, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm really not too sure. Why would an early access game be like really just nominated for best
I don't know.
fighting
We
in
got two
terms of
collection
this?
games. So, I mean, it tells you where we're at.
That's good. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. So honestly, I wouldn't think that either Capcom Fighting Collection 2 or Marvel Combat or Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection will be fighting game of the year. There's a lot more like issues with like say Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Apparently there's some like snafu stuff with online
I heard
stuff
about
and
that. Yeah.
there's I've heard about that in terms of like that. But Capcom Fighting Collection 2, I feel like that's a great collection of games. You got freaking games like say like Plasma Sword and stuff like that, the old Dreamcast game, and there's the Capcom versus SNK games inside there as well. That was such a fucking blast earlier on this year.
Hmm.
I mean, I really wanted to go back to just play through Capcom versus SNK 2 when I had the chance. I did play through one, I did play through Plasma Sword, but I think there's like maybe two games out of that whole collection I had not played through yet because I got distracted with other stuff. If I had to choose a fighting game that would potentially win for this, it's probably gonna be. I want to say Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Okay.
I think it's more or less a popularity wise type of thing. I've not had a chance to play that or VF5 or the Mortal Kombat or 2 XKO. I've only played the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 stuff, but in terms of say contenders for this category, it's between 2XKO and Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and I kind of feel like that. I feel like for the popularity stuff, I think it's going to go to Fatal Fury.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, because I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm probably gonna go 2XKO for that reason. I think like Fatal Fury, like it
Right.
reviewed well. People seem to like it, but like it just completely flopped. Like they had like a massive
Yeah.
marketing budget behind it, and like it did not sell well. Like the head of the studio like basically resigned in shame. And so I do wonder if that's I don't know. I think maybe this didn't do as well as they'd hoped, but obviously it's like this is I think it's come off of like people that like nominate these things also the ones that are like the majority of the vote goes to them as well. So maybe you're right on that end.
True.
Um, talking it out. Yeah, Gables, I'm gonna go Fatal Fury for that reason. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I think the 3 of the 5 here are just kind of weird, and then like Virtual Fighter 5 it seemed like
Yeah.
technically a brand new game. So, um, but moving on here, best RPG we have Avowed, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Outer Worlds 2. Gables.
There's no question Claire Obscure Expedition
Yeah,
33 is going to be taking this category.
yeah, yeah,
There is no contest. I
yeah.
mean, Monster Hunter Wilds, that came and went. There were definitely a lot of issues in terms of the Steam version of this game that not only was so much of a major issue, but Capcom didn't even like address or even fix a lot of these issues, and there's still a lot still.
Mm-hmm.
The game mostly sold over the first initial month or so, like the 10 plus million like copies or something during that initial stint, but
Yeah,
towards the end of the year here, I mean, it hasn't really picked up a lot of initial sales.
yeah,
This past Black Friday, this game was already like liquidated up to like about $30
yeah.
for like certain like sites like Amazon and like this and that. But though from what I heard that there were people that did enjoy playing Monster Hunter Wilds on PlayStation and Xbox consoles and stuff. PC was a whole entirely different matter. I think for games like say Avowed and stuff, for Avowed, when it came out, I heard little bits here and there, but obviously I've heard like some things of it being kind of like middle of the road in terms of like RPG stuff. I played a little bit of stuff with Avowed and stuff, and quite honestly, it just didn't really latch onto my interest really. And that's kind of a shame because this is kind of something up my category in terms of like going through like certain Western RPG stuff, just playing through different things of different side missions, different this and that, but nothing really grasped me to want to play it when
Mm.
I tried it on Game Pass. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 definitely is a strong game from what I've seen. There's definitely some funny moments I've caught online in terms of watching certain people's videos and stuff and how the reactions of what happened if you get caught doing something, you can just like convince a guard that you were only doing this because of some outlandish reason and him believing you for it. Outer Worlds 2, I don't have too much information on. I know you have played quite a bit of it, Tyler,
Yeah.
alongside Expedition 33,
Oh yeah.
but if I'm just kind of wondering, I was like, out of all these RPGs, which one do you think's gonna win
I
this
mean,
category?
yeah, it's Expedition 33. Like, like it's a point. Like, it's like some years it's kind of unfortunate just how like dominant it seems like one game is gonna be over like everything else. And Expedition 33 is that
Hmm.
game this year. Yeah, I've beaten 3 of these 5, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 are 2 games I really really liked. I probably say I like Avowed more than Outer Worlds 2, but I still really like the Outer Worlds 2. They're just really good like B plus Western RPGs, I would say. Like maybe they're not like the top like S tier top
Okay.
end ones, but I still really like them. I love Obsidian. Obsidian is one of my favorite studios out there. It's awesome that they put out 2 pretty big games this year. Um, but yeah, like I think it's one of those things. Yeah, like Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 definitely like yeah, it's like either kind of I've heard the same thing. People either really into them or they just kind of like yeah, it's like it's okay, or it's like a solid 8 out of 10 type of game from a lot of people I've seen. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I think Avowed had a bit of its moment there, but it helped it came out earlier in the year. Outer Worlds 2, I think, just kind of coming out in the in October. I think it came out like the same day as like Arc Raiders and shit. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle. Um,
Right.
so that hurts it unfortunately. So yeah, like I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds, it's like it's crazy. Like if that game would have came out now, it's a different discussion. But unfortunately, like coming out in January, people were really hot on that game for like a month, and then yeah, it's just like lack of new content, and then obviously all the PC problems definitely hurt it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is just kind of
Yeah,
like
and you definitely
go ahead.
My apologies,
You're
dude. I
fine.
just wanted to say one last thing about Monster Hunter's Wild and stuff. You know, a game hasn't done too well if people are going back to mass, like in mass and stuff, to the previous iterations. Like, for example, after a couple months of people playing Monster Hunter Wilds, the Steam count for people going back to playing, say, Monster Hunter Rise and then like Monster Hunter World and stuff kind of like doubled.
Yeah, yeah. That what's that? Monster Hunter Stories 3 is coming out next year. Can't get here soon enough, probably.
Yeah. Mm.
um, but moving on to the next game here, best action adventure game. We have Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silk Song, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction. Gables, pretty open and shut case, I think.
God dang. God dang. Well, I'm not surprised seeing Indiana Jones here. It was released like December of last year.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's technically it's one of those things where it's
Sure.
technically eligible because it came out after the Game Awards last year.
Yeah. God, this is a tough category here.
It's a
I've
great
only really
category.
played like two of these games. I know you've played about three of these games
I
here,
played
or
all
four of
five.
these games, mind you.
Yeah,
You
I,
played all
I,
five.
I played like an hour of Silk Song. So take I guess yeah
Personally, I want Silk Song to win it. That's how I feel about it.
yeah understandable.
But yeah, I kind of feel like that if God, for strong action game of the year here, I probably could see Death Stranding 2 possibly winning this.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I beat 3 out of the 5. I love Death Stranding 2. I love Ghost Yote. I really loved Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's one of the games, unfortunately, just kind of came out in December and it just kind of gets lost, in that time frame where, especially after it comes out after the Game Awards, so it loses a lot of like buzz and talking points there, and then also like kind of like. Most
Yeah.
people are kind of wrapping it up in December, like post Thanksgiving. So I didn't get like a bunch of buzz, but I'm happy to see like it's still getting nominated in some categories here
Mm.
because that game is really, 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 really good. I even heard the DLC is really good. That came out in September, which I
Mm.
do want to check out. Um, yeah, so I love 3 of these games. Split Fiction, I've really enjoyed so far what we played of it. Silk Song is just like it's one of those games I respect it. They're not like I'm not a big Metroidvania guy, and I definitely don't have the patience for the difficulty of it. Honestly, I think Silk Song is going to destroy this category. I don't feel like it's even a question. So, and I don't, I yeah, it's like almost like I feel like it's gonna be what Expedition 33 is everything else. I feel like Silk Song is like the second game for that category, like for that. So I think Silk Song is gonna win a lot of categories. They're not in the same one with Expedition 33 for. But moving on to the next one, we got Best Action Game. This is another good category here. Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi: Art of Vengeance.
Okay. I love Shinobi Art of Vengeance and stuff, but I feel like this is going to be one of those runaway categories again. I think it's Hades 2.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's not even close. I mean, Doom the Dark Ages, Ninja Gaiden 4, those two action games were very much like clamored for, and excited for. Obviously, we were excited for Doom the Dark Ages and stuff, but honestly, when those games came out and stuff, we saw the initial kind of like how with some other games that we've seen this year, they came out advertised and stuff, but they did not leave a lot of lasting impressions and
Mm,
stuff after the first initial couple months. Hades 2 has already been inside of like the production stuff for like alpha and like
early
people had a
access.
chance to play a little bit of the beta stuff before leading up into this stuff. But when it's full on release and stuff and how full pretty much like of a full package this game is and stuff, this is no question that this game is like a shoe in here for oh god
Action game.
for best action game.
Mm.
Yes, I think number two is Shinobi Art of Vengeance
Okay.
personally because this game, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, it's pretty much like an homage to those classic Ninja Gaiden games. Each individual stages has their different themes. I know from playing the least the first, well, at least pretty much like the first three or four levels of this initial game. I mean, it's got a good amount of combat. It's got a good amount of like structure stuff to it and stuff. And quite honestly, it's one of those underrated sort of action games inside of this category because I know it's a little bit smaller of a project, but the quality that has been put in this game is reminiscent to that of like say Streets of Rage 4 and stuff from like a couple, like a past few years ago at this point. I feel like this is worthy definitely of someone playing through and picking it up. And I know at least until it'll be on probably a couple more sales or something leading up to like Christmas. So hopefully I would think more people will give it a shot. But yeah, Hades 2 is the best action game this year.
Yeah, I think it should win, and I personally I want to win. I think it should win. Yeah, like I mean, Battlefield 6, I think might have a decent shot of winning this one just from popularity standpoint. Doom Dark Ages, I agree with you. Like it kind of came when I really enjoyed it. Still, it's one of those things over like Doom 2016 was like
Yeah.
was one of my favorite first person shooter games of all time. I did not like the second one, and the third one is like definitely a big jump from the second one. Um, but it's still it's one of those things where I think maybe too like or it's like Doom 2016 just kind of felt like a revelation, and it's like I've kind of been there, done that maybe
Yeah.
in a sense. But I still really
Well, you
liked
know
it.
what? I think from one of the best I will say this though. One of the best things that's come out from Doom the Dark Ages and though is like the fucking controller
You
to it.
son of a bitch, that thing is gorgeous. Oh my god,
I know it is,
I just want
dude.
to I just want to put it. I just want to feel it. Like I just want to put it against my chest. Like yeah, but yeah, like I really like that game. It's like it's probably gonna be one of those games that's probably gonna be in the bottom half of my top 10 still. Like I still really liked it, but it is definitely one of those like yeah, this kind of came and went. Ninja Gaiden 4, people seem to really like it, but also just kind of feel like it kind of came and went. Shinobi, like people seem to love it, but it also came out in August, I think. It came out like the same month. What was the other?
Yes.
What was the other fucking?
There was Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
That's it. Yeah,
That
like
one
came like
came out as
they came out like a
well.
month of each other, so it's just kind of unfortunate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Hades 2, yeah, definitely like this is the build up, like the anticipation and the build up coming off of the first one, how big of a game that was, the early access, people seem to love it, and then yeah, like that game it lived up to the hype for sure. So I think it's Hades 2. Um, Next one here, Gables, can we just skip AR VR?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. All right, best mobile game, can we just skip that one as well? Unless there's anything you
Yeah,
want
we
to
can
add.
skip that one too.
Okay. It's gonna be
Nah. Nah.
Uma Musume is probably gonna win that one. Best debut indie game. All right, we have Blueprints, Expedition 33, Despelote, Dispatch, Megabonk was the fifth one, but they asked to be taken off. So Gables, of these four, who's gonna win it?
Before I say what, which is the obvious one, the one I think is going to be number two here is Dispatch.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I've heard nothing but good things from this. I know you've had some positive, really positive experience
Yes.
with Dispatch and stuff. But yeah, Claire Skier is going to be the winner of this category.
Yeah, and it's like I yeah obviously Expert 33, I love that game. Despelote is a game people really love it. I played it a good hour or so of it. It's only a couple hour long game. I need to get back to it. I just wasn't. I think it's one of those things where maybe you got to play the whole thing through to really like the story and everything that clicked for you. I need to get back to it. But like
Yeah.
Dispatch is one of my favorite things in all of entertainment ever made. Megabonk is a fantastic game. I know they got taken off the nomination or they asked to be, but that's a game. That game. I mean, I don't need to go out there and talk, but that game's been super successful and they're doing really well for themselves. But that game is phenomenal. But yeah, it's Expedition 33. No argument there. Next category here, best independent game, Gables. Uh, God, what a category, man. Uh,
Oh, shit.
yeah,
I'm
Absalom.
sorry. I'm looking at this category for the first time, and
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God.
It's funny because I really haven't looked at these since the nominees came out. So you're like, oh my god, Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Silk Song. What a fucking year!
The fact that Best Independent Game literally has three out of the five, like
Six.
three games that are contending for Game of the Year this year, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, there's a couple of underrated games here too, like Absalom.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard great things of. I know you have a lot of great
Yeah.
fun with Absalom so
Mm-hmm.
far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Blueprints, I've seen a couple different things. Bollock's Pit, I've heard some good stuff for, but holy shit, dude. It's basically between Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Silk Song. Oh, God. My God, just roll a dice, for God's sake. Or even flip a coin. Best Independent. Well, here's the thing. If it's Best Independent Game, then I'm not sure if the one that wins this is going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if it's like,
That,
well, we're gonna vote for it here, so maybe we vote for something else here. But I feel like most of the time it doesn't actually play out that way. I think it's like, I
mm,
don't know. It's kind of a bummer.
yeah,
Expedition
I get
33
it.
is here. I get like technically it is an indie game. I kind of wish it wasn't in this category just because it would be fun to like, because it would just be between Hades 2 and Silk Song at that point. I think. I'm gonna just say
Yes.
it's probably. I'm just anytime I pretty much most categories I'm gonna see Claire Obscura in. I'm just gonna vote for Claire Obscura.
Okay, you're gonna go with Claire Obscure,
Yeah.
Expedition 33. And though I would say this and stuff, I think they're gonna go best independent game with Hades 2.
Okay. I mean, I'd love that. Like, I wouldn't have like if Clay Obscure doesn't win this one, it wouldn't bother me. It's just like it's the thing I always complain about. Like with these is like sometimes the diversity of these categories is kind of sucks where you just kind of keep seeing the same games over and over again. I
Right.
would like to see more games have more chances to like like hell only like half like what like 8 games actually are up or 8 categories actually are up on the stage. Like you can
Yeah.
scroll through 10 more fucking categories. It's always gonna be like complain about it. It definitely does suck that like it just happens sometimes. Like some year you have like 1 or 2 really strong games that kind of dominate everything else. It's like I think the 3
Yes.
Spider-Man games have been like nominated for several categories all 3 years and have 0 Game Award wins just because they get overshadowed by something else.
Yep.
So it just happens. I like all these games are great. I'm a little surprised by Ball Pit. Like that game, like not to say it's a bad game, but it kind of seems like I'm like, oh, okay, that's a weird one. But like people like it, but I don't think it's like to the level of like a Blueprints was or Opsolum. Like
Right.
man, I started playing the game this week. Usually Gables and I don't talk about what we're playing, and we kind of keep it a secret. And I couldn't help but myself, but to like Gables play fucking Opsolum. That game is amazing. I put like I've actually rolled credits on it. And I'm still playing it. So much I'm loving it. It's the Streets of Rage 4 team's new game, and yeah,
You
so
rarely do that though. There's
yeah,
very rarely that you tell me after you've played through and beat a new game or something that you tell me exactly you gotta play this game.
yeah. Usually I try to keep we usually try to keep our opinions to ourselves before we do the podcast, and I was like I can't hold
Mhm.
in. I gotta tell Cables about this game. I was like going in like some of our Discord channels. I'm like, dude, this game fucking rules. I was like going around. I had this like if there's a rooftop I can go on, I would have screamed about it. If it wasn't so cold out either. But yeah, it's Expedition 33 here. Is my pick. But yeah, what a fucking thing. Great category. Just a fun category. Um, it's one of those ones I
Oh
wish we
yeah.
could just see the breakdowns of, like the votes. All right, next one here, best community support. This one's a weird one. I don't know. We could probably skip through this one pretty quickly.
It's a weird one, yeah.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, Final
I'll
Fantasy
say
14.
Fortnite.
Oh yeah, we'll just say Fortnite. We're not gonna Gibbles even gonna let me finish the nomination. I'm gonna say Fortnite. I think The Simpsons 1 2 is just gonna like dominate. I bet Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky
Dude,
are
the
there.
Simpsons one. Dude, the fucking Simpson one was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I that's what got me into playing the
yeah.
fucking Fortnite thing. So I'm gonna say go Fortnite.
Yeah, it's Fortnite. All right, best ongoing game. It's just stupid. It's Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky. Can we just say Fortnite?
Yeah, we'll say Fortnite.
Okay. All right. Games for impact. Always a weird category here. For a thought-provoking game with
This is
pro-social meaning or message, we have Consume Me, Despelote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, Wonderstop. Consume Me is really cool. Like I played a couple hours of it so far. I really like it. I want to get back to it. A really great game about. It's actually like the writer of the game. She actually it's like about her growing up, like dealing with like an eating disorder, but it's like a really goofy
mm.
art style, and you're basically playing WarioWare to like through the game, like how the gameplay works. But a really cute, charming game so far. I want to get back to it. It's a shorter game as well. Despelote another game I want to get back to. I want to play that for the end of the year because some people I've heard like say it's like this is my top 5 games of the year. I'm like holy shit, like so I want to jump back in that one. Also kind of looks like a Game Boy game too, which is kind of cool. Lost
Kind
Record
of.
Bloom and Rage is the game I wanted to love. It's a Don't Nods like The Life of Strange People. I root for that studio like no other. And I played the first episode and I had tape 1 or whatever it's called, and I just had zero interest to go to tape 2, and that hurt me. Like I was like I'm like even like some of these like some of their bad games or like mediocre games I'll play through just because I love that studio. And I didn't care for it. South of Midnight, that game fucking rules. It's not the best like gameplay game wise, but like I think from a story, the art style and like the boss fights and also the music is fucking awesome. And then Wonderstop Cables, I have no clue about. I know what Wonderstop is. I don't really know much about the story though, but I've heard it. I thought it's kind of. I'm kind of a little surprised it's here because I thought people seem kind of disappointed by that game, but I don't know much about it. So to be fair, but I'm gonna say Consume Me will win this category.
All right. Honestly, I have not played any of these games, but if I had to take a chance with it, God, if I had to pick one, it's probably gonna have to be like I'll just go with Kasumi as well,
Okay.
only because I don't know too much about any other things of this game. I don't think South of Midnight would win this category personally, but at the same time, I'm just going off of like various reviews and people's impressions. Wonder Stop, I haven't heard too much about it since its release. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, I've heard kind of similar sentiments from what you were saying, Tyler, from people's experience with playing this game. Let's see, Despelot, I have not heard
Despelote.
of at all. Despelote, okay. For that, I haven't heard too much of it at all. Katsumi, I haven't heard much of all at all. It's well, all the thing I really like though is like in terms of the WarioWare style mini games that I've seen some, but it's hard because like when you don't play any of the games of a certain category, it makes it tougher to choose which one.
Yeah, I really feel like it's between Despelote and Katsumi. Um, but I'm gonna say Kasumi. I think that'd be cool to see that one win. But next one here, should we just skip innovation and accessibility? I feel like we're not the right people for that category.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one here, best performance. Oh man, what a category here. We have from Clear Obscure, we have Ben Starr, we have Charlie Cox, and we have Jennifer English. From Ghost of Yote, we have Erika Ishii. From Silent Hill F, we have Konotsu Kato. I hope I said that right. And from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, we have Troy Baker, who honestly could be here for Death Stranding as well, because he was awesome in both those roles. But um, Gables, any opinions on this one?
Oh boy. I think it's going to be one of the actors for Claire Obscure,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go with Ben Starr.
Okay. I played, so obviously well, I guess there's 4 different games here that are technically nominated. I played through all of these games. Honestly, I'm sorry if I get her name wrong. Kanatsu, from Silent Hill F. She was incredible. I talked about. I played the first
Mm.
like third of that game, an English voice acting, and I'm like, this is just like feels like bad. Like it just kind of felt bad and wasn't a lot of emotion to it. And I switched over to the Japanese voice acting, which I never do in games. And I'm like, this. She is phenomenal. I felt the fear. I felt like even though I couldn't understand her, I can hear the fear in her voice. I can hear all the emotions. I can understand from just the tone of what she was talking. I could feel it just from just
Mm.
the way she was talking. Troy Baker as Indiana Jones was awesome, incredible. Like I said, he could have been nominated. I don't know how that would work if you like be nominated for 2 different games, the same person, but yeah, I wouldn't have been upset about it if he was in both. Obviously, Eric Ishii was incredible. I thought in Ghost of Yote, Azatsu, yeah, she carried that game. And then we have the trio here of Charlie Cox, Ben Starr, and Jennifer English. Jennifer English, like she essentially is like I feel like the main character of that game, and she is like I feel like the emotional linchpin of the story. And I mean like everybody from the top to bottom was phenomenal as voice acting goes. So from to me though, like Jennifer English really holds that whole like I mean she's the star of the show to me. In that game and of a game that is like just phenomenal as everything they do and especially the voice acting like I said so I'm gonna go Jennifer English just because but like it'd be cool I feel like
Okay.
I feel like I feel like it's between Ben Starr and Jennifer English but I feel like Jennifer English should win it. um
Okay.
Next up here best audio design we have Silent Hill F, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Clay Obscure, Expedition 33, and Battlefield 6.
Best audio design. I think probably the best audio design from all of this is probably going to be Silent Hill F.
Yeah, yeah. I played 4 of the 5. I've beaten 4 of the 5. Battlefield 6 I haven't played. Battlefield though is like even going back to like the 360 era, like they have been like people have been raving about like the sounds design of their games. Like you can hear like the bullets, like whether it's hitting metal or the water, like you can just tell by the sound effects
Mm-hmm.
of things. Like they kill it. Like all these games done really well, but like Silent Hill F is just like I always talk about like in horror games, the sound design is maybe the most important in that than anything else. And like
Absolutely.
that is a game that like scared the fuck out of me on several occasions just because of whether it's just like the little music, like you get that little like screeching noise, or just the sound of the enemies, or just like just the dread that game makes you feel. And like yeah, like Silent Hill, I feel like honestly, like the further I get away from it, the more I'm like, the more it's one of those games where like sometimes like the more you get away from a game, like you kind of forget about it. Like what I love about that game so much, or what I like about that, what's my opinions of that game? And Silent Hill F is like the opposite of like the more I get away from that game, the more I like it more. Like like the further away I get from beating that
Mm.
game, the more I'm like, man, I love that game, and I kind of want to go back and play it again. And there is like you go back and play it again, you get like different endings based off of that. But yeah, like to
Oh.
me, like I feel like Silent Hill F should win it, but I'm just gonna say actually I'll say Battlefield 6 is gonna win it, but it should be Silent Hill F, and I hope it's Silent Hill F personally.
Mm.
Next up here, best score of music. What a fucking category. We have Christopher Larkin from Silk Song, Darren Korb from Hades 2, who's just been phenomenal from the get go. Lorraine Testard from Expedition 33, Tomo Tawu. I can't. I'm terrible at this. Ghost Yote and Woodkid from Death Stranding 2. Like I said, I played all 5 of these games. All 5. Like I say 4 of these for sure have really phenomenal music. Silk Song, like I said, I played an hour of it, but I've heard a lot of music from it. It's really good. But to me, Gables, it's like as great as all. Like I loved the music of 4 of these 5 for sure. Playing through them all, but to me, there's no argument here. It's Expedition 33. Expedition 33.
I was leaning that way as well for my nomination stuff. I know all these games definitely do have their initial soundtrack stuff, but I would expect Expedition 33 to win this category. So I'm going with that.
Okay, but man, Woodkid and Death Stranding 2, man, what a fucking what a banger that was. Best art direction, we have Silk Song, Hades 2, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2, and Clay Obscure Expedition 33. Gables, what do you think's gonna win this one?
Best art direction. Oh my god. I go Hollow Knight.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those things though, where 4 of these 5 are sequels, so that and they look the same. It's the same art style as the previous game, so I wonder if that hurts a little bit. Um, I'm gonna say Expedition 33 again, and I know it's probably like it's
Yeah.
the easy thing here, but I also think that like from art design, it's different than anything else we've ever seen before in gaming, and also it's the first original IP of the bunch. Where like I said, the other 4 are sequels, and I do think sometimes that does hurt. As like we've seen this before, and like not to
Right.
say like no, not taking anything away from them. Like if these were the first one of the if this was the first game rather than the sequel, it'd be maybe a completely different discussion because like and all these games look phenomenal. But yeah, I'm gonna say Expedition 33 again. Best narrative, Jesus Christ, Silent Hill F, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
I think it's no contest. It's going to be Claire Obscure.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're probably right. I'm kind of surprised about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because like everything I heard about the game is like it's a great game to play and like you just kind of get lost in the world and like the dumb things you can do in it and just like the it's a game of moments. But everything I heard about like the actual like main story is like I haven't heard anything like it's like phenomenal at all. I guess. Um, Silent Hill F I think is a fine story. I don't think it's like anything groundbreaking. I guess. Ghost Yote is a really good story. I love the characters of that game. Like the characters are great. The boss fights are great. It's not like an original story. It's a story like it's not like it's a pretty common story we've seen, especially in like Japanese stories. You know, of like someone people kill your family and then you're out to revenge them. It's not like a new story. Uh, Especially like I said, like in Japanese games or Japanese just movies or whatever. Um, to me, it's between Death Stranding 2 and Claire Obscure 33. This is actually a tough one for me here, personally, and just what I think I'm gonna go Claire Obscure, but it's a tight one actually. It's a lot tighter than I thought it would have been going into it. Like when I said actually, like I really haven't really thought
Right.
too much about these categories, like who I thought was gonna win beforehand. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Claire Obscure in that one. Best game direction. It's Split Fiction, Hades 2, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
Oh, game direction. Award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction design. I'm just reading the description of it because I'm not entirely too sure of game direction.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where like
Honestly,
you know when you see it type thing.
I can really see the it's between. I really think it's gonna be between Clair Obscur again, but you also have like say Death Stranding 2 and Hades 2. I feel like those three are the strongest for this category.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, in terms of like the vision of stuff, I mean, I could see Death Stranding 2 winning this.
Yeah, I mean the first one did win it back in 2019. Um, yeah,
Right.
I look at like Ghost of Tsushima, like I said, I love that game. It's not like, but it's like one of those things where like you look at like Split Fiction, like you know who made that game when you play Split Fiction. You know
Right.
Kojima game when you play it. I even with Supergiant games, I feel like when you play that game, like I don't think it's like a totally different style from anything else. Like we see these style of games for, but like obviously it's it's I think you know a Supergiant game when you play it. Like there's personal touches to this where like nobody else is doing this type of thing. Like nobody else is doing it this
Right.
type of way, or like they're changing it up every time they play it. And I don't know. I don't think Ghost of Yete has that necessarily from like that standpoint. Um, but I feel like the rest of like like I guess Expedition 33 we don't really know because like it's the first game. But I'd say just from game direction, to me it's Expedition 33 again. I know I'm doing a lot of chalk here, but like the way I look at it, like in the past I've tried to like, oh well, I try to get into the mind of like, okay, if I was voting, maybe I'd vote for this. I'm gonna vote for this here, so I'll vote for something else here. But like I feel like that's just typically not actually gonna be the case. So I'm gonna just say it's Expedition 33. And then Game of the Year, Gables, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Silk Song, and then I honestly kind of like I feel kind of bad for it, but like sticking out like a sore thumb, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Not to like give it any like shit here, but I feel like five of these six, most people actually kind of nailed down, and the sixth one was like, well, it's between these, and it's just like maybe what like maybe one of those years where like we're just it's like it's just cool to be nominated type of situation.
Right. Right. Well, I know definitely it's not Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah,
I personally do not feel like Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be Game of the Year for this category, only because of how strong this category is, where you basically have four other games beside like Donkey Kong Bonanza here that could be a shoe-in for Game of the Year any other year. I mean, for God's sake, you have Hollow Knight Silk Song, which took years in order for Team Cherry to go through and
mm-hmm.
orchestrate and build this game pretty much from the ground up. It was a DLC that grew exponentially. That has a good shot of winning this. Hades 2, Supermassive Games, pretty much one of their best games going off and stuff with this. I mean, it's been inside the beta stuff for a while now. But yet, this game is every bit as great as the original Hades was, and apparently, from a lot of people, think this game is pretty much better than the original Hades in a lot of
I
aspects.
agree. Yeah,
So, obviously, this could be like a great shoe-in for Game of the Year as well. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I've heard great things about the story. I've heard great things in terms about the characters and like all of the reveal stuff. I've seen certain clips of like introductions of certain characters online and stuff. It just seems like a fairly fascinating game to experience because of how Kojima, his mind, everything going into his projects and stuff. He always puts a lot of his kind of Kojima esque type of like creative visions inside of his games. Sometimes they can be detrimental, like some cases for Death Stranding 1, I could see.
yeah.
But like there are a lot of times where he uses a lot of his creative vision for certain games, like for example, the Metal Gear Solid series, where they come across as very like strong in terms of aspects of plot, in terms of combat to some points of it. But yeah, this could actually be a pretty damn good game of the year and stuff as well. And obviously, the game that pretty much came out of nowhere this year that we randomly saw it in terms of a revealing of like I forget where this game was revealed at in terms of a in terms of like some sort of I don't think it was a conference, but it was like either a PlayStation State of Play or an Xbox experience.
Expedition 33.
But
Is that what
yeah,
you're talking?
Expedition
Yeah, that was at
33.
the their like Summer Game Fest, Xbox's Summer Game Fest show last year. Yeah.
Yeah, when we first saw this and stuff, we thought at the time it's like, oh hey, this game looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an RPG. It looks like it's kind of like a Western base and stuff. We didn't know for full extent just from that footage that they showed us that it would be growing into this massive like unforgettable adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, the way they introduced this game, you had the cast talking about it. It was much more people talking about the game than showing the game. If they had done it in their first reveal and stuff, hell, people would be so much more excited upon it coming out, before this game came out,
Yeah.
but I do really feel like out of all of these games, the one that comes out of nowhere or not just coming out of nowhere, but the one that wasn't the most likeliest, to win any type of game of the year stuff from like a year ago is going to be the one that's going to win this. I think Expedition 33 will win this game of the year.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, it's going to be a major precedent if like when this does happen because this is going to be the first time where we're going to see like a major AAA style indie game win game of the year where you have a lot of AAA companies trying to do all this other stuff to try to get their games going and like you know, basically become eclipsed almost entirely by the indie game scene.
Yeah.
Because you got Death Stranding 2, you got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, they're by different companies and stuff, but those are AAA games. Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's a AAA game. Even it's Nintendo style AAA game, yeah. And then you have indie games like Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song and stuff, and Expedition 33. But in terms of how much scale and how much different projects, I mean, yeah, the three of them are fantastic, but at the same point, these are iterations like Hades 2 and Silk Song are iterations upon games that have came out previous, right? And so they've had time to marinate, they've had a lot of time to go through and improve upon things that were faults, and people were expecting these games to be fantastic and probably a lot of people's games of the years to be because of it. But for Claire Obscure Expedition 33, this is something nobody saw coming in
Mm.
terms of the gaming landscape. Not because of just exposure, but what threw a lot of people off was just the quality of how this game came out. A lot of the hearsay from when people had a chance to play and experience this game, how good the voice acting was, how good the artistic direction was. Just everything seemed like it was a perfect storm to make this like a perfect package. And on top of that, this game came out at an affordable price point, $50.
Yeah.
That is also against AAA norms because a lot of game companies and developers they want to charge that $60 to $80 price point.
Yeah.
And that in of itself, this game was more aimed, Expedition 33 was aimed more towards like consumer friendly means and stuff with that. But ultimately, when it comes down to a game of the year, it has to be a game that not only is fantastic, but it also should be like innovating certain aspects of that category. And I feel like this is a turn-based RPG, right? Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is something that AAA companies, like major companies, have tried to shy away from the last 10 years. Even like companies that made that type of RPG like try to shun away from it and move towards action oriented stuff, like with Square Enix,
Yeah.
with some of their later Final Fantasy games. I mean, we're seeing like Final Fantasy Rebirth and stuff, Final Fantasy 16, how everything else like that, and even like some bit of their Dragon like Quest games are doing that. But this this kind of honestly, from what I've seen and stuff, kind of reinvents like or kind of like reimagines turn-based RPGs as sort of like something that we personally probably haven't seen in quite some time, because you look at some of the best turn-based RPGs of all time, right? That people consider, you got let's say Chrono Trigger, you got like Final Fantasy 7, you got like Final Fantasy 6. Obviously, there's a myriad of classic Square Soft stuff, but not keeping into account a lot of like other companies' stuff. But yet, this game here feels like it's on par with a lot of those classics from what I've personally have read about or what's seen and stuff. So I feel like not only is this the strongest game, but I feel like that this is a major wake up call for the games industry in general. When you have independent companies that are taking and creating good quality games like this without having to spend every bit of like these millions upon millions of dollars for all the various existential bullshit that no one's going to give a shit about, and be outdone by this with old school gamer mentality stuff, with like classic like game developer style of like production stuff, then quite honestly, this is the type of game that makes a lot of the people in the gaming space rethink how they develop games.
Yeah, yeah,
And quite honestly, I feel like that's a welcome wake up call.
yeah.
So absolutely, Expedition 33 is the hands down games of the year, game of the year winner.
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, I don't think it's any surprise there. Um, yeah, I mean, it was great that like I think it's like it's no different. We see this a lot of times. Like we hear about this a lot, like in sports, where it's like a lot of stuff you see in the NFL today is something college did 3 years ago, and what you see in college was something that people
Yes.
in high school were doing 3 years ago. Where it's like it's usually like this like
Yes.
places that are able to do different out of the box shit. Like like we see a lot like with indie games. Like think of like roguelike games were a decade ago to where they are now. It's like one of the most popular genres out there, especially even in like net or like Metrovanias and stuff. Like we're even seeing like you know uh like we're seeing AAA games do those things now. And I feel like like it's not only the fact is
Right.
that it's not like an old school JRPG in the sense of like just but like also like but not only is it's a turn-based game, but it's also like they they modernized it and then they took it and like created something entirely different with it. Where like with the whole parry system and everything like that, like
Mm-hmm.
the dodge and parry system, like they totally flipped it on its head and like expanded upon it. It's like it's not just like hey, this is like an old school JRPG that just looks really really nice. Like no, like they changed the playstyle forever. I would say it's honestly it's closer to like the style combat's it's more closer to like a Paper Mario style than it is a normal like turn-based game because you still have to like you hit the buttons at a certain time
Right.
you time it right you'll do more damage or you can dodge things or whatever. But like they just totally like they just like I said they revolutionized it or they modernized it and then revolutionized it. Obviously, like the storytelling is phenomenal. The art design is phenomenal. The music is phenomenal. Like it is definitely like, yeah, it's just like it's very rare. Like in the game, usually like most years, like okay, it's really like between like 2 games, maybe 3. This is one of those like few years like it's happened in the past where it's like okay, yeah, this is just stands above everything else and like yeah, it's been a really great year and like it, but yeah, I think it is definitely like a case for Gables. But the good news is they're gonna save millions of dollars in making games by using AI, so that's good. We're gonna fix games that way, so no, don't worry, Gables. But yeah, they're gonna learn they're learning all they're not gonna learn lessons because Claire Obscure, or they're gonna learn lessons, or they're gonna take the wrong ideas to how to fix the games because of what Claire Obscure did. Like how do we make this? Hey, these guys did it like with a box of scraps. How do we do that? But they're not gonna like, hey, like smaller teams can do this and like be great. Like no, we're gonna just use AI. So good news there, Gables. But yeah, like yeah, it's a great year. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you brought up a good point, Gables. Like you rewind a year ago where like we were gonna like pick 6 games. Pick what you're like. Maybe that's something maybe we should do that in January or something like that. I guess the hard thing is you don't know all the games are coming out, but it's like, where it's like you just like, all right, what are the 6 games for the game of the year? But if like we say we knew every game last year, we knew all the games were coming out this year, but we didn't know like the opinions of them. We didn't see review scores, but we had all the list of all the release dates. We knew all the games were coming, but we didn't know anything about some of these games. Like we would have looked at it like, okay, well, we would like, yeah, Death Stranding 2 would have been there. Donkey Kong Bonanza would have been there. Hades 2, Silk Song, those 4 games would have been there.
Yep.
But I'm like, all right, well, it's really between Silk. It's probably just be Silk Song. Like, no question about it. And yeah, I would love to like go back and look and like, all right, like what like of like the Game Award, like look at the Game of the Year nominees and like that'd be a fun thing to do. I'm like, okay, what's like the most out of nowhere game? But like maybe not that won it, but like out of nowhere. Like It Takes Two is maybe the most shocking one that we've had. Like, oh my
Right.
god, like we didn't see that coming. But like just like a game that like came out of like nowhere. Like if you had told me It Takes Two got nominated for like that year, I'm like, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. But but I was like, oh, it's just one of those like it's just like oh, and, like typically like it's almost like those like we see like these indie games like every year. There's like I always joke that it's the token indie game of the like it's nominated for game of the year every year. It's just like oh, it's just you're basically like you're just kind of like cool. You're like the most popular indie game of the year. The fact, like you said earlier, like half of the games on this list are indie games is just awesome. So yeah, I mean, tells you like
Mm.
how big the industry is actually. I mean, it helps. I mean, we get more games than ever before, which is great. And like, I can't keep up with it. I look at like all the like, I mean, there's like it's always hit or miss sometimes with the games, but I feel like I've taken more chances on them this year. But it's also just been, I feel like this has been like one of the best years for indie games as well. Like you said, like yeah, like man, like I hope that like the fact that like I think like Square Enix sees this game, people are asking the questions like, hey, what did you learn from this? And like maybe like yeah, like I love Final Fantasy 7. I had problems with Rebirth, but I still liked it overall. Like Final Fantasy 16, I loved, but like people don't feel that way, and it's like man, like to me, like after they see Expedition 33, it's like all right, well, whatever they're doing with Final Fantasy 17, they should probably rethink that one. I'm like, hey, like this doesn't work anymore. It's like, oh, maybe it does. If you just got to do it well, and obviously have a great story behind it as well. Like that helps. But yeah, like yeah, it's Expedition 33. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's been nominated for 13 awards. I mean, to be fair, 3 of those nominations are nominated. It's got 13 nominations, which is the most ever. To be fair, 3 of those nominations are in one category with voice acting. But I wouldn't be shocked if I don't know what the record is for the most wins, but I got him or most award wins. But I feel like X-Men 33, like this is its year to like. I think it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna. I think technically it's been nominated for 10 categories, maybe 11. I can't remember. I wouldn't be shocked if it sweeps or like I'm expecting 8 or 9 wins from X-Men
Oh,
33 this
so
year.
kind of like sort of to try to match like akin to like what you're saying and stuff like that. I know in the realm of movies, there has been like a couple movies like in the past like
Yeah, like Lord
30,
of the
40 years
Rings.
or some that have absolutely like
Yeah,
kind of like Lord of the Rings or like Titanic or
yeah,
like stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's just gonna dominate. Like it's like it's crazy because it's like it's all these. It's not just like best action adventure game, best best fighting game or whatever, like or best like whatever. It's like music, indie game, fucking voice acting. Like it's narrative. Like I feel like I mean maybe I feel like it's gonna I could see it winning. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's gonna sweep, but if you told me it swept, I'm like yeah okay that makes sense. But I feel like it's gonna win the vast majority of the categories. It's probably gonna end up being
Right.
this might be the greatest like individual game ever for the Game Awards, just from like achievement standpoint. And yeah, like whatever they're doing next, man, I would love it if they do a sequel. But like whatever they do next, like it could just be some weird fucking chibi game for all I know. And I'm like, ah, yeah, I'm in. Like whatever these guys do next, I'm in for. So. But yeah, yeah, really. I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. Obviously, we'll probably if they're probably, I won't be shocked. Like I think it's not this coming week, but the next week I want to say. I think it's like the 11th. I want to say that the Game Awards is happening on. So
Something like that.
so maybe next week we'll have some like maybe we do some predictions what we think might be there. Might be some leaks and stuff like that. There's already been some
Mhm.
like some people like some hubbub I've been seeing online already. So maybe we'll talk about a little more next week. But I think Gables, we're going a little long here, so we're just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
We've already gone over an hour and a half. It's getting late. Um, but anyways, if you like the show like we're doing, please like, follow, subscribe. We're on everything, every podcast service. We're on it. Like I said, 5 stars. Leave the comments. Whatever you can do to help us out, we appreciate it. Best thing, go to YouTube. Subscribe to us over there. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. We do have a membership, just $1 a month, just to say, hey, we like what we're doing. We like what you're doing. We appreciate you. But yeah. But anyways, I was your host. I was Tyler.
And I've been Colonel Gable. So until next time, everyone, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk-Nerds podcast.
Hey, Gables.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.